What if I told you that some of the wealthiest families in the world, people who built businesses from almost nothing, all followed the same hidden rules? Rules that most people in the West have never even heard of. These aren't shortcuts. They're not get-rich-quick tricks. These are deep, time-tested money principles rooted in Chinese culture. And once you understand them, the way you think about money will never be the same again. My name is Mike, and today we're going to break down the Chinese rules that build real, lasting wealth. Grab a pen because this one is worth writing down. The very first rule, and maybe the most powerful one, is this: save first, spend later. In most Western households, the typical pattern is you earn money, you pay your bills, you spend what's left, and if anything remains, and that's a big if, you save it. But Chinese families flip this completely upside down. The moment money comes in, a portion goes straight into savings. Before food, before fun, before anything. There's an old Chinese saying, save money and money will save you. It's not just a quote, it's a lifestyle. The average Chinese household savings rate has historically been around 30 to 40% of their income. Let me say that again, 30 to 40%. Meanwhile, the average American household saves less than 5%. Now, you may say you've got bills to settle, debts to pay, but imagine if you started saving just 20% of every paycheck. Not later. Not when things get easier. Right now. That single habit, done consistently over 10 or 20 years, is the foundation of generational wealth. The key word here is automatic. Set it up so the money moves before you ever see it. What you don't see, you don't spend. Rule number 2 might surprise you. Never show off your wealth. Chinese culture has a concept called hiding your wealth, or in Mandarin, Kang Fu. The idea is simple. Real wealth is quiet. It doesn't need an audience. Think about this. The person driving the newest luxury car. Is he rich or is he in debt? The person in the modest car who owns 3 properties, that's the person Chinese wealth culture respects. When you show off wealth, you attract problems. You attract people who want something from you. You attract envy, bad decisions, and pressure to spend even more. But when you live below your means, quietly building, nobody knows what you have, and you stay focused. This is why many wealthy Chinese families drive ordinary cars, live in reasonable homes, and don't wear flashy jewelry. It's not because they can't afford it. It's because they understand that money shown is money wasted. Ask yourself this: are you spending to impress people, or are you spending to build a future? Rule 3, invest heavily in education. If you look at immigrant Chinese families around the world, whether in the US, UK, Australia, or Southeast Asia, one pattern stands out. They sacrifice almost everything for their children's education. Why? Because in Chinese culture, education is not an expense. Education is the highest return investment you can ever make. There's a proverb that says, if you are planning for 1 year, grow rice. If you are planning for 10 years, grow trees. If you are planning for 100 years, grow people. A degree, a skill, a certification. These are assets that can never be taken from you. You can lose a house in a crash. You can lose money in a bad investment. But you cannot lose knowledge. This rule also extends beyond formal school. Chinese families invest in tutors, in books, in training, in mentors. They understand that whoever learns the most earns the most. Now here's the shift in thinking. Stop seeing education as something you're forced to pay for. Start seeing it as the best investment account you'll ever open. Every course, every book, every mentor you invest in, it compounds, just like money. The most valuable asset you'll ever own isn't a stock or a house. It's the knowledge inside your head. This next rule is one of the most practical wealth strategies there is. Never rely on just one source of income. Chinese business culture has a saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But they take it further. They actively build multiple baskets. The typical wealthy Chinese family doesn't just have a job. They have a business. They have rental property. They invest in stocks or small business partnerships. They might sell goods on the side. They look for any additional stream of income, no matter how small it starts. Why does this matter so much? Because a single income is fragile. If you lose your job, your income goes to zero. But if you have 3 or 4 streams, even small ones, losing one doesn't destroy you. Here's a simple way to think about it. Your first income pays your bills. Your second income builds savings. Your third income creates investments. And your fourth income? That's where freedom begins. You don't need to build 4 streams overnight. Start with one side project. Sell something online. Offer a skill as a service. Invest in a dividend stock. The point is to start. And here's the mindset shift. A job is renting your time to someone else. A business is building an asset. Chinese wealth culture respects the builder, not just the worker. Rule 5 is about time, and this one separates the builders from the spenders. Chinese culture thinks in generations, not in months. In the West, we often hear things like, live in the moment, or treat yourself, you deserve it. And while balance is important, this kind of thinking can be financially dangerous. Chinese families think about legacy. They're not just asking, what can I afford this year? They're asking, what am I building for the next 20 years? What am I leaving for my children? This is why so many Chinese families own businesses that pass from parent to child. It's why they hold property for decades instead of flipping it quickly. It's why they plant seeds today, even if they won't see the fruits for years. There's a concept called delayed gratification, the ability to resist a small reward now in exchange for a bigger reward later. Studies show that people who master delayed gratification are significantly wealthier, healthier, and happier over their lifetime. Think about this. The money you spend today on something you don't need costs you not just that amount. It costs you every dollar that money could have grown into over the next 30 years. $20 today invested at 8% annually becomes over $200 in 30 years. It's not just money. It's time. It's compounding. It's your future. Start thinking in decades, not days. Now let's talk about something that keeps millions of people stuck. Bad debt. In Chinese wealth culture, debt is treated with extreme caution. There are 2 kinds of debt. Debt that makes you money and debt that takes money from you. Good debt is when you borrow to invest, to buy a property that generates rent, to fund a business that generates profit. That kind of debt is a tool. Bad debt is when you borrow to consume. Credit card debt for shopping, car loans for vehicles that drop in value, personal loans for vacations. That kind of debt is a trap. Chinese families are famous for their low tolerance for consumer debt. Many prefer to pay cash or save until they can afford something rather than going into debt for it. The idea of buying a TV on credit is almost unthinkable in traditional Chinese households. Here's the math. If you carry a 20% interest credit card balance, you need to earn a 20% return on your investments just to break even. That's an enormous mountain to climb before you even start building. The rule is simple. If it doesn't generate income, don't borrow for it. Save for it instead. Every dollar of bad debt you eliminate is a dollar that starts working for you instead of against you. Pay it off. Stay free. Rule 7. Your network is your net worth. In Chinese culture, relationships in business are called guanxi, and it's considered one of the most powerful assets you can have. Guanxi isn't just about knowing people. It's about building real, trust-based relationships where you look out for each other. It's about having people in your corner who will open doors for you, share opportunities with you, and vouch for you. Here's how it works. The wealthiest Chinese business people spend enormous time building and maintaining relationships. They invite people to dinners. They send gifts. They remember birthdays and names. They show genuine care. And here's the return. When an opportunity arises, a new investment, a business deal, a job opening, it often goes to someone in the network first, not the most qualified person on paper, but the person who is known and trusted. In the West, people often think, I'll focus on the work, and the work will speak for itself. That works sometimes. But in Chinese business culture, your reputation, your relationships, and your trust network are the foundation that amplifies all your other efforts. So invest in people. Be generous with your time. Show up for others before you need them to show up for you, because the most valuable opportunities in your life will often come through a person, not a job board. Rule 8 is one that has multi-generational power. Teach your children about money early. In many families, money is a taboo topic. Parents avoid talking about it. Kids grow up clueless about budgets, savings, or investing, and then at 25, they're making all the same mistakes their parents made. Chinese families are different. From a young age, children are taught the value of money. They're taught to save. They're given small responsibilities. Maybe selling something, managing pocket money with a little notebook, understanding that money is earned, not given. There's a famous Chinese tradition where during the Lunar New Year, children receive red envelopes called hongbao, filled with money. But in many households, this isn't just a gift. It's a teaching moment. The child is asked, "What will you do with this? Save it? Invest it?" The habit starts young. Because here's the truth. Financial habits formed before age 20 stay with you for life. If a child learns to save 20% before they ever have a real income, that habit will continue when they earn their first real salary. If you have children, start the conversation now. Make it normal. Let them see you save. Let them see you invest. Let them understand that money is a tool, and you have to learn how to use it. The most powerful inheritance is not money, it's financial wisdom. Rule 9, and this one is deceptively simple. Always live below your means. This isn't just about being frugal. It's about creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is the engine of wealth creation. The bigger the gap, the faster you build. The smaller the gap, or if you're spending more than you earn, you're moving backward. Chinese culture has a concept of not wasting. It's called qinjian, which means diligence and frugality. It shows up in small habits, finishing every grain of rice on your plate, repurposing things instead of throwing them away, fixing things instead of replacing them. These aren't signs of poverty. They're signs of discipline. And discipline at the small level creates freedom at the large level. Here's a practical version. Before every purchase, ask yourself 3 questions. Do I need this? Can I afford it without borrowing? Will this bring me lasting value or just temporary satisfaction? If you can't clearly say yes to all 3, wait. Sleep on it. Come back in a week. You'll be surprised how often the urge disappears. Because lifestyle inflation, spending more every time you earn more, is one of the biggest destroyers of wealth. Raise your earnings, but keep your lifestyle growing much, much slower. That gap you protect is your future. Guard it. The final rule, and possibly the most underrated one, be patient. Wealth is not built in a day. It's not built in a year. Real, lasting wealth is built over decades of consistent, disciplined effort. Chinese culture reveres patience. There is an ancient proverb, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." And the key word is journey. It's a long road, and that's okay. The biggest financial mistake most people make is giving up too early. They save for 3 months and don't see results. They invest for a year and the market goes down. They start a business and hit setbacks, and they stop. $10,000 invested at 8% annually doesn't just grow linearly. It doubles approximately every 9 years. After 10 years, 21,000. After 20 years, 46,000. After 30 years, over 100,000. The seed you plant today becomes a forest, but only if you water it consistently and never give up. The most important decision you will make is not which stock to buy or which business to start. The most important decision is the decision to start, and then to never, ever quit. Plant the seed, water it daily, give it time. All right, let's wrap it up. Here are the 10 Chinese rules that build real wealth, written down for you. 1. Save first, spend later. 2. Never show off your wealth. 3. Invest in education. 4. Build multiple income streams. 5. Think long term, decades, not months. 6. Avoid bad debt. 7. Build a powerful network. 8. Teach your kids about money. 9. Live below your means. 10. Be patient. Wealth takes time. None of these are secrets. They're principles. Principles that have been passed down through generations of families who built real, lasting wealth from the ground up. The question is, which one are you going to start with today? If this video added value to your life, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes the most valuable thing you can give someone is the right information at the right time. I'll see you in the next one.